JSX. With our route, we're going to make a new component, capital G github.js. Let's import React from React. We can make a CSS file for it too. Why not? So let's add github.css, capitalized the same way. And from github.js, we will import that. Import./github.css. We'll go ahead and make it a class. Class GitHub extends React.component, or we could, of course, actually import component separately and just extend component. Same thing. Before I forget, I will export default GitHub. And I will, of course, need a render method, which will return some JSX. Like a class, a div with a class name of GitHub. So inside here, I'll put an image. And we'll put the GitHub logo in there. I've already hunted that down for you, so I will paste this in Slack. There it is. My alt text will be GitHub. Camel case like they do. There you go. Pasted. And we'll put a form on there underneath the image. No action necessary. Inside the form, I'll put a div. Inside the div, I'll put an input of type text. Then I'll put another div with a button in it. And it will be a submit type button. And it will read lookup GitHub user. Let's see what we've got. Still just rendering the H1 right now. So back in app.js, I need to import this component before I can use it right. So import GitHub from ./GitHub. Do not need to say .js. And then I could say path equals GitHub. And instead of render, I could just say component equals GitHub. I could also still use the render method and just put the GitHub in there as JSX. And here we go, an enormous GitHub logo and a tiny, tiny form. So I'll style that a little bit. I'll paste this into Slack, of course. We can talk about it a little. Let's make sure that all works. What's your problem? Div class name GitHub. Class name GitHub. Well, this worked. The image, not so much. .github logo. I needed to put a class on that. So image class name equal GitHub. I'll just say logo. change this rule to just logo. There you go. Much better. So here's my CSS in the slacks. With 80%, margin 0 auto, 0 top and bottom, auto left and right. Putting auto on the left and right centers it. So since it is less than the full width of its container, an auto margin will center it left and right. GitHub logo, I make the width 100% of its container instead of the actual size. Max width of 500 pixels, so it will never get too big. My input, I set the font family. I set it to border box, which means that the padding and border will count as part of the width. So width 80%, including padding and border. Set the font size. Border color, border radius to get curved corners. Rounded corners. Give it a border. Our button we style. Nothing too earth-shattering inside the style there. And there we go. So add GitHub component with form. No behavior there, but it's there and it looks nice.